WPSD Local 6, your breaking news and weather authority. This is Local 6 Olympic Edition in high definition.
We're supposed to be able to send our kids to school and, not worry about if they're coming home or not.
This woman's son survived the Marshall County High School shooting just weeks ago. Now she's reacting to tragedy after a school shooting in Florida.
And tonight, first-hand accounts from the Florida students who survived.
I was in the classroom and all I heard was the gunshots. And then when we went outside and the police cleared us for us to go outside, I see dead bodies on the floor.
A heavy police presence remains tonight at this Florida high school where a shooting today killed 17 people and injured more than a dozen others. This aerial footage shows sheriff's deputies, police, and FBI agents on the campus.
You can also see what's left inside the building. There are bullet holes through windows, desks, and chairs knocked over inside classrooms. That shooting erupted inside Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School just as school was letting out. The school is in Broward County, Florida. That's in the southeast part of the state on the Atlantic side, north of Miami.
A little more than 3,000 students attend that school. The makeup of that school is 62% white, 19% Hispanic, 18% other. Now, the Broward County School District announced on its Twitter page that the high school will be closed for the rest of the week.
It says all school activities, including athletic events, are also canceled.
The district superintendent posted this letter in response to the shooting. It reads, in part, "There are no words to express the sorrow that we are all feeling. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families, as well as the entire Marjorie Stoneman Douglas community. We have grief counselors and crisis teams ready to assist, and we will be providing details to all of our families and staff as we move forward." Investigators say they identified 12 of the 17 killed so far. Florida's Attorney General announced tonight the state will cover funeral expenses for the victims and counseling for survivors.
And Todd, we are now seeing the face of the suspected shooter. This is a picture of 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz being arrested. Investigators found him a short distance away from the school nearly 2 hours after the deadly shooting. Now, the suspect was treated at the hospital and released to police custody. Investigators say Cruz is a former student with anger issues. He was expelled from the school last year for disciplinary reasons. He had previously attracted so much concern that school administrators had actually banned him from campus. Investigators say they started going through the suspect's social media accounts and web browsing history. The county sheriff called some of the findings very disturbing. One student says he is not surprised Cruz is the suspect.
Honestly, a lot of people were saying that it was going to be him, stuff like that. We threw a lot of kids threw jokes around like that, saying that he was going to be the one to scoot up the school. But it turns out, everyone predicted it. That's crazy.
Investigators say the suspect had at least one AR-15 rifle and multiple magazines. Most of the victims were shot and killed inside the high school. Well, this shooting in Florida comes as many of you are still trying to heal from a tragedy here just 3 weeks ago. It feels very personal in our region.
That's right. We lost 2 young lives in the Marshall County High School shooting, Preston Cope and Bailey Holt. Many were injured, including this young man. Gage Smock was shot in the face.
And we're happy to say he is doing well. And as Local 6's Blake Stevens found out, he's already returned to work.
3 weeks ago, Gage Smock was shot in the face at Marshall County High School. He hasn't gone back in yet, but he has clocked in at work.
It feels good to get back out and be with everybody, see my friends and close friends and workers again.
He's preparing barbecue he can't even eat.
It sucks. Be doing all this food and only drink liquids.
His mouth is still wired shut from his injuries, but he's glad to be working.
Working here is fun. A lot of people take work for granted. But if you're working, you're in good health.
Physically, he may be doing okay, but emotionally, Gage is still battling that he won't be able to walk the halls with his girlfriend Bailey again.
She was just one of the sweetest people ever. She wouldn't want us to be mad at him for this. She wouldn't want us to be mad at anybody. She would probably try to, if she would have known his feelings, she probably would have tried to be his friend.
Today, he's wearing her hair tie to work for strength. His mom is also a source of strength for him. She cannot believe another community, this time in Florida, has to go through the horror.
They're going through the most horrible thing they can go through right now. just not knowing if your child is okay it's indescribable.
Gage's advice to Florida families enduring tragedy: hold on to each other.
It may seem hard right now, and everybody will come up to you, it's going to be okay. It doesn't seem like that right now, It doesn't seem like everything will be okay, but it will. Just, you got to ride it out. You got to stick close with your family and your friends and try to grow the relationships that have been broken through this.
And treat every moment like your last. In Marshall County, Kentucky, Blake Stevens, WPSD, Local 6.
That is a strong young man. Gage is not able to go back to school yet. He says his doctor recommends he go back once he can open his mouth.
You know, if he caught something like the flu, he says it could be deadly. He goes to the doctor next week and hopes to have those wires taken off. Another student, Mason Cosner, is making progress. He was also shot in the face. His parents say he had his wires removed today. He is eating better, but still can't chew a lot. Mason has been released from the trauma unit. Medical staff there say he's now able to go back to school and work. He will still have to follow up with a face and neurology team for a full release.
And Jennifer, we learned late tonight there will be stepped-up police presence at all McCracken County schools tomorrow. Sheriff John Hayden made the announcement in this Facebook post. And in it, Hayden says there have been no threats made towards any school. The increased presence is to help students, faculty, and staff feel safe in light of the shooting in Florida.
Now, your Weather Authority first forecast.
We turn now to weather conditions across the area this evening. It's been awfully gloomy, and we've seen periods of mist and drizzle across the region. That continues across Tennessee and up into the Purchase area of western Kentucky. In fact, we're going to see reduced visibilities on our area of roadways overnight tonight. That does mean possibly another slower start to your morning commute. You can see from 11 o'clock tonight, visibility is still right around a mile, 2 miles, but will be reduced a little more so as we head through about 6 a.m. The good news is winds will start to pick up pretty quickly tomorrow morning. It's going to mix up the atmosphere. It's going to lead to some very warm temperatures, but also another chance for showers and a few thunderstorms tomorrow night. We'll track that hour by hour as we get closer to the weekend, coming up in a few minutes.
The Florida school shootings also bringing back painful memories for people affected by the Heath High School shooting 20 years ago. Christina
Elgood lost her sister, Nicole Hadley, in that shooting. She told us today the tragedy in Florida happened far too soon for our community.
And we were talking about after the shooting at Heath how we felt like we had several months to kind of process what we were going through, and the kids at Marshall County only have 3 weeks to start to process what they're going through before they get hit with this. And it just instantly, I feel like any progress that these kids made to move forward and try to get on with life will instantly bring them right back to where they were the day of the shooting.
Tonight, a warning from a survivor of Heath High School. Missy Jenkins Smith was left paralyzed. We spoke with her by FaceTime today, and she says it's time to stop thinking that tragedies like this will never happen here.
Everyone always needs to keep their eyes open for those warning signs. It always, in the end, there's always, we don't know really with Marshall just yet, but I know in Heath there were warning signs that we had discovered afterwards that so many people tended to ignore, and so I'm hoping that if we see those warning signs of people who maybe keep to themselves.
The Heath High School shooting killed 3 students and injured 5 others.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is also reacting to the school shooting in Florida. He tweeted, "I'm deeply saddened by the horrific violence in Florida, praying for the victims, their families, and the Parkland community. Always grateful for first responders who charge into harm's way." We will update you on today's school shooting on air and online. There will be continuing coverage on today, tomorrow morning, right here on Local 6. 3 people died in this Nashville house fire. Ahead, what new information investigators uncovered today.
Plus, the inspiration for this athlete to go for the gold despite a rare disease. And the illnesses local doctors are treating.
That's in What's Going Around.
And we've got a rainy weather pattern headed our way. We'll show you when to prepare coming up after the break. You're watching Local 6 Olympic Edition.
Your breaking news and weather authority with Todd Faulkner, Jennifer Horbelt, Weather Authority Jennifer Rukavina, and Jeff Bidwell's Sports. This is Local 6 Olympic Edition in high definition. WPSD Local 6, the Weather Authority, certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
Well, it's been awfully nice to shed the winter coat for a little while, but we have to grab the rain jacket. At least temperatures are a little milder, 61 degrees. In fact, this current hour, the Weather Center here on the Saladino Shaft Sky Tracker Network. Things mainly dry in downtown Paducah. We do have some patchy drizzle out and about there, though. Pressure at 30.04 inches, and we'll see winds out of the southwest at 13 miles per hour. That will probably eliminate much in the way of dense fog overnight tonight, but it's those patchy drizzle areas that may cause for some slower travel, especially through that morning commute. You can see some of those areas of light rain and drizzle across northwest Tennessee up along the Kentucky line there as you get towards Callaway and Trigg counties. Otherwise, we've got mostly cloudy skies across the region. We're going to stay that way for much of the overnight. You can see a little closer view here, some of those stray showers, much like the rest of this evening, a lot along 641 and as you head across the lakes area along Highway 68 towards Canton and Cadiz and over towards the Hopkinsville area. So be alert to that, especially as you're going to be traveling I-24 late tonight as you head towards Clarksville and the Nashville area. In fact, as we look at it hour by hour, we're going to continue to see that light drizzle at times across Kentucky down through Tennessee through 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, which again will slow things down on area roads like I-24 and Highway 45. But we will stay mainly dry across Illinois and Missouri, keeping with mostly cloudy skies. Now, throughout the day tomorrow, we're actually going to see some generous dry time. We'll see some cloud cover, but also maybe some filtered sunshine from time to time. But strong southerly winds are going to bring in 70-degree readings across much of the area, feeling a lot more like spring. That will also come with the chance of showers and thunderstorms by tomorrow night. So 1 o'clock in the afternoon to about 6 o'clock, still fairly dry, but we start to watch to our north as a frontal boundary starts to slip south across our area. 9, 10 o'clock, those showers will reach into southern Illinois, southeast Missouri, then across the Ohio River very quickly overnight. Steady rain will continue into early Friday morning. You can see 3 a.m. to that morning commute at 6 a.m., mainly impacting areas along and south of the Ohio River. But watch from 6 a.m. to about 9 a.m. From time to time, we'll see a few snowflakes mixing in as that cold air rushes in behind the system. It'll be short-lived and really not amount to a whole lot, considering temperatures will be in the 70s tomorrow. Our road temperatures will be way too warm for anything to stick or to cause any problems. That's the good news. Bad news is it's going to filter in some pretty chilly air for the second half of our Friday and into early Saturday. As we look at rainfall totals from tomorrow all the way into the start of next week, we are starting to see a signal that we're going to see some pretty heavy rain off and on. 2 big systems, the one tomorrow night and then again next Tuesday, will lead to rainfall totals. Look at this. You can see here 1.5 to 2.5 inches widespread across our area. We will see locally a little more than that, possibly 3+ inches. This is the time now to prepare for that, especially this weekend. Make sure those drainage areas are clear of any debris or leaves left over from the winter to help kind of alleviate any kind of flooding situation around your house. Low-lying areas are going to be susceptible to flooding. Of course, this is the time of year that we look to that. 72 degrees tomorrow, winds out of the southwest 10 to 20. 100% chance of those rain showers mixing with a few snowflakes in there Friday with a high of 43. Those temperatures will tumble throughout the day, so you don't want to leave the winter coat at home on Friday. Saturday, 44 degrees. We'll see considerable cloudiness now with a system to our south. May also spread a few rain showers into northwest Tennessee, but back to sunshine on Sunday. And then on Monday, we'll see a return chance for some few showers, maybe late in the day. A little better chance that will hold off until Tuesday when we see our next chance for showers and thunderstorms and 70-degree readings.
The flu virus is not letting up in our area. One local doctor says it's not too late to take advantage of getting that flu shot. Local 6's Stephanie Martinez has more in this week's What's Going Around.
Dr. Nasira Malik keeps seeing influenza A and B. She's also treating a stomach virus at Tenova Hillview South in South Fulton, Tennessee. In Princeton, Kentucky, at Fast Paced Princeton, nurse practitioner Jennifer Brown is seeing patients for a number of illnesses: flu A and B, mono, pink eye, and a stomach virus. APRN Mariah Hamby continues to treat the flu, bronchitis, strep throat, and allergic rhinitis in Paducah at Four Rivers Internal Medicine. In Martin, Tennessee, nurse practitioner Morgan Stone is taking care of influenza at Tenova Primary Care. Good hand hygiene and staying home when sick are both helpful to decrease spreading germs. Dr. John Hell in Union City is seeing people for flu A and B. He encourages you to get a flu shot. Strep throat and mono are frequent. There's also a virus mimicking the flu, lasting 2 to 3 days. For this week's What's Going Around, I'm Stephanie Martinez.
New tonight, harsher punishment for caregivers who steal painkillers from the people they care for. A bill approved by the Kentucky House Judiciary Committee today would expand the ability of prosecutors to use the state's exploitation law. This after a Hardin County caregiver was caught stealing painkillers prescribed to a man fighting cancer. Because the suspect was hired to care for the man's wife, the exploitation law did not apply. The bill will allow the exploitation law to apply to other vulnerable people in the home. Investigators say Michael Allen was dealing illegal drugs from a Paducah apartment. McCracken County Sheriff's deputies arrested him yesterday. Detectives searched the apartment and say they found more than 8 ounces of marijuana, digital scales, marijuana packing materials, and money.
Investigators say 13 people were living inside this home in Nashville, Tennessee when it caught fire Monday. 3 people died, 11 others were injured, including a firefighter. The home was running a residential recovery program. Fire investigators said it had no working smoke alarms or fire sprinklers. Robin Tucker is expected to be in court next month on DUI and assault charges. Investigators say Tucker caused a crash last year that injured family members of Kentucky State Representative Richard Heath. Now this is a picture from the scene. Sheriff's deputies say Tucker ran into Heath's 16-year-old granddaughter on Highway 58, including the teen and Heath's wife. And both women were airlifted to Vanderbilt Medical Center. The teen is still recovering in a wheelchair. Tucker's arraignment is scheduled for March 12th.
Gold, silver, or bronze?
Where the U.S. stacks up in the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics medal count. Plus, the special meaning behind these lanterns in China.
And how a rare disease stopped this man from walking, but not his dream to get Olympic gold. Next at 10.
You're watching WPSD Local 6.
A rare disease may have stopped this man from walking, but it didn't end his dream to get Olympic gold. Justin Marshall is preparing to make his debut at the Paralympic Games in Pyeongchang, South Korea.
It looks like a fairly simple sport, and that's what I thought when I started this. Like, all right,
it was during the last Olympics when wheelchair curling first caught Justin Marshall's attention.
There's a lot of things going into one simple push of the arm. There's the weight control, the line, your pre-shot routine, your breathing, your mental management, all of that wrapped in about 10 seconds and making sure that everything's, firing on all pistons.
4 years later, he's not only learned the sport, he's excelled at it. He is on Team USA, training in Madison, Wisconsin for the 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. He says he's grateful for the support he's seen from friends both here and his hometown, Benson, Illinois.
Those people back home are my biggest fans, and I hear from them all the time, and they're always supporting me.
Marshall suffered a rare spinal cord stroke when he was 12.
I got lucky. I have full feeling. I can still move my legs a little bit, but basically I've been relegated to using a wheelchair since the age of 12.
When he's not curling, he works full-time as an architectural associate, designing hospitals and focusing on spaces for people with disabilities. For Marshall, what could be seen as limits are simply a challenge to overcome.
Chasing a crazy dream and playing a fun sport that I just enjoy. So it's been a wild ride, and I'm really looking forward to an exclamation point here at the end.
You can catch Marshall and the rest of Team USA competing in the Paralympics starting March 9th on NBC.
We are updating you on the official medal count from the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea. Team USA has 7 medals, including 4 golds. Germany leads with 12 total medals. The Netherlands and Norway are tied with 11. Canada has 10.
Scanning the satellites now, love is in the air. Literally. Virgin Atlantic Airlines marked Valentine's Day by flying in the shape of a heart. The plane flew 200 miles along the southwest tip of England.
This dog-shaped lantern welcomes the Year of the Dog in China. The Lunar New Year falls on Friday. The lantern is part of spring lantern shows being held across the Asian country.
Forget beach volleyball. These athletes play snow volleyball. The International and European Volleyball Confederations held an exhibition match today in Pyeongchang, South Korea. The first ever snow volleyball European Championships will be held next month in Austria.
That just looks cold.
Very cold. But hey, big weekend for Murray State.
Yeah, Hall of Fame induction ceremony coming up Friday night, and one rather important Hall of Famer will be there. We'll have that. Plus, Kentucky has lost 3 in a row, trying to avoid a 4th straight loss tonight on the road at 10th ranked Auburn. Highlights coming up next. You're watching WPSD Local 6 at 10. Since 1990, Kentucky is 33-2 against Auburn. But tonight, the Cats were the underdog, rolling into Auburn to face the 10th-ranked Tigers. Kentucky on their first 3-game losing streak under John Calipari. Cats trying to avoid just the 7th 4-game losing streak in the last 90 years. Auburn started the game 1 for 16 from the field. Finally got going there. Bryce Brown hit the 3. Tigers up 6. Then it's Brown in the corner again. He had 18. Auburn up 39-33 at the half. Second half, Cats hanging around, down 1, 13 to go. Wenyon Gabriel drives in for the slam. Cats led by 4 with 7 minutes left, but Kentucky held without a field goal in the final 5 minutes. Anthony McLemore with the alley-oop on the receiving end there gets Auburn back to within 2. And then in transition, McLemore again is going to finish it off. Auburn closes with a flurry. 76-66 is your final. The Cats are now 6-7 in the SEC. Tomorrow night, Murray State will host Jacksonville State. Friday night, Murray State will induct their 2018 Athletics Hall of Fame class. Many big names will be there, including Isaiah Cannon. There was some question as to whether Cannon could travel from Phoenix after having surgery 2 weeks ago to repair his fractured ankle. Doctors have given him clearance to travel, and he will be part of the festivities this weekend. SIU going for their 7th win in the last 8 games, hosting Missouri State tonight at the arena. We'll pick it up in overtime. Final 15 seconds. Salukis up 79-78. Missouri State's Jared Dixon with the runner. That put the Bears up 1. 9 seconds left. Here comes SIU. Aaron Cook to the basket. He is fouled. Missed a bunch of free throws in an overtime loss to Illinois State last week, but knocks down both here. Puts SIU up 81-80, 4.1 to go. Final dash for the Bears. Going the distance, the running three-pointer. They actually get the rebound and put it in, but it's after the horn. Another look, and it's still after the horn. SIU 81-80 is your final in overtime. So you're up to the moment Valley standings. Salukis all alone in second, 2 games behind Loyola with 3 to play. SIU will host Loyola 1 week from tonight. Graves County honored their national championship cheerleading team today. They won the national title in the large co-ed division over the weekend in Florida. They're 7th overall. McCracken County's team also won a national title over the weekend in the medium co-ed division. Their 2nd consecutive national championship. Congratulations to all those winners.
All right, Jeff, thank you.
You got it.
All right, quick check of weather. Yep, looks like we're going to see some drier weather for tomorrow, but that leads up to our rain chance tomorrow evening. Enjoy the 70s tomorrow. It is going to be awfully windy. Keep that in mind as you're out and about tomorrow.
Okay, Jen, sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you for watching WPSD Local 6 and staying up late with us.
Good night. Good night.
Bye.